Okay, here we go. We're live. Thank you guys for waiting while we were getting set up. In case you are wondering who I am, my name is Antonio Bryce. I am the creator of the comic book series brand. We're on Indiegogo. We just crossed $70,000 on Indiegogo. That means you've unlocked the Shinobi Sasquatch versus David Craven pinup. So I do thank you guys for your generosity. And but hey, we're not talking about brand today. We're here to talk about City of Venus, Dead City. Ladies and gentlemen, Vinnie Tartamella.
Hey everyone, Antonio, thanks for having me here. I can't wait to talk about it.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about it because I'm looking at your Indiegogo page,
right?
And looks pretty cool. Why don't you tell me how you got that idea?
This is actually brewing for a while. I had the idea, the whole concept came to me like back when I was in high school. It evolved tremendously since then, but yeah, I mean, the whole thing kind of stemmed from like when I started hearing about like those secret people who kind of are ruling the world, like that top 1%, the like the New World Order type of thing. Like when I started hearing stuff about that, I'm like, well, what if these son of a bitches get their way? What would really happen to the world? And this is kind of like my my extreme version of it. So it's essentially like the whole world has been destroyed, and these people are they're still in control and they don't care about anyone else. So what's like the next step? They want to separate themselves from the rest of the world. So essentially, actually, I should screen share, or unless you're going to do it.
Yeah, I got it right here. I got
okay,
you pulled
cool.
up.
So yeah, so this is set very far into the future. It's a post-apocalyptic action sci-fi story. So it centers around this woman who unknowingly has the power and potential to save the world. So like the entire place, it is destroyed. It's void of power. It's like the only technology that's in use is in this floating city. And it houses like the ultra elite, the scientists, the most brilliant minds and engineers. And they want to stay above everyone else. They've been doing it for centuries. Like their main purpose is that they want to try to prolong their lives as well. So if they find any people, because in this world that it's totally destroyed, like the scavengers are hiding underneath everything, and they're desperate for survival. But if they get captured, they get experimented on, and most of the time they're failed experiments. So what do? They just toss the people back down. So like I have like mutated, sick people. I'm gonna have all kinds of crazy surprises in this book, but yeah. So like, and the main story centers around this woman who she does have a connection to the city, but I wanted the viewer to follow her journey. So in the opening page, it's like the viewer is going to be just as lost as she is when it starts, because she doesn't know how she got here. She doesn't know what happened to this world. She's never seen a floating city before either.
I have to ask you, where is this young lady's clothing?
Well, we're in the future, right? And there's nothing. She can't walk into like a Target or a Walmart or something, right?
Okay, I'm like, yeah. I was like, okay. Now wait a minute. Is this? I see these. Is this the same woman in this on this page here that I'm showing?
What do you mean?
Is this where
the one with the red jacket?
Yeah, and then you got the woman with the blue.
Yeah, the one in blue. Her name's Jess. She's pretty much the star of the book. She followed. She saw someone like she woke up on a rooftop. So she followed this person that she saw down on the street because she wanted to get some answers. She wants to figure out what's going on. So that's kind of like where I start the book and the story.
You're the writer on this also.
Yeah, I did everything on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, my very first indie project was Through the Woods, which was a ghost story that I'd done with my brother Frank. He wrote. We came up with the concept together. I did the first draft, and then he rewrote it because it was going to be a horror book. We made it a ghost story, and then he finished off the other one. So yeah, so the next project was an art book, and this one I'm pushing is just, my story that I've had. I want to tell this one. I've been wanting to tell this one for a while, so I'm just kind of going all out with it.
Gotcha, I got you. And it looks like you have some undead fun going on right here.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they're not exactly zombies. I want to make that clear. A lot of people right away they think that, but I kind of did that on purpose because again, I want to throw people right into the action like immediately, and then like I'm gonna have more like those key story moments and beats happening. Like a lot of the info you're gonna get is gonna be from the second issue, so that one's gonna have more of the backstory of the main character and that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, there's a lot to tell, and I want to put a lot of surprises in this book. So the first one, I wanted to make sure everyone knows what kind of action and fun they're going to have first.
Man, I'm digging these. I love the way you draw these young ladies, man. I don't know if they let you get away with that at Marvel and DC though.
They used to back in the day, right?
Yeah, they used to. Yeah, back in the day, I was like, that's what they used to understand. But now they were like, you need to put like a nun outfit on or something, put them in a habit, this kind of thing. But man, this I like man, I'm digging. Even okay, now she's got more clothes, but it's very form fitting, I'd say.
Yeah, she came from the floating city, so that's where the power is. That's
look like something else floating. It looks like she is rather healthy, and I like that
buoyancy, right?
Yes, and wow, I love sexy ladies in comics. That is a win for me.
Oh, you're gonna love this book, my friend.
All right, man, I'm digging this. All right, okay. You say these aren't zombies or not quite or something.
Right. They're like the failed experiments of those people in power that they wanted to prolong their lives. So these are like the rejects.
Okay. Ooh, I like this. What is this? Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the main villains in the book.
Okay. I'm digging it. Hey, man. So, wait a minute. So, hold up. That's what I was just about to ask you. How many pages is this bad boy?
This one's 28 pages, front cover to back cover. But the next issues, I'm going to go oversized with page count. So I'm looking closer to like the 40, 45 range, something around there, give or take. Because essentially when I was working on this book, like I wasn't aware of Indiegogo and the whole scene, but I was kind of going more like with the guidelines of what's kind of normal for comics. Believe me, I wanted to make this one extra, but the way I left it with the cliffhanger on this one, I think it's kind of perfect anyway.
Right, I got you.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah, trust me. So let's actually look at your perks here.
Sure.
Because you got $50. You get the signed comic in volume 2 of your art book.
Right. So volume 1 was a campaign right before this. So they're 52-page art books. It's like a collection of some of my best pieces that I've done over the years. It's all full color. So you're going to see superhero stuff. You're going to see monsters, cool portraits of some of your favorite shows or movies. Just a whole slew of awesome stuff. And volume 2 is the second part to this collection, which is going to have even more pinup stuff, monsters, just like everything I enjoyed creating over the years.
Now, one thing I always like to ask you, because you're the artist on this, are you doing this traditionally, or do you do this digitally, or how do you do?
This was a little bit of a mix. This one, I did do a lot of like the pencils. They weren't super tight because I kind of knew what I wanted to do anyway with the painting on it. But I made sure like all the females, like they were drawn out, completely. The ships, some things like that. Obviously, you want to get the perspective right, but I left like some things a little bit vague because I knew I was going to just paint it with Photoshop anyway. But my process kind of varies from book to book.
And you're coloring this as well. You don't have a colorist, or do you?
No, this is me. It's story,
everything. Okay,
everything down to the lettering.
All right, so we see. Okay, so you have a perk with just the let's see, signed comic book, $20.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, how's your shipping running? Because I was like, man, that seems to be, it varies from campaign to campaign.
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I heard some good advice from Ethan on it as well. Like to do in the States around $10 is pretty good for the US. And like I think I'm doing 15 for Canada, and then the rest of the world is 20. Because I know like once you go over a pound, the prices could really skyrocket.
Right. Right.
So I mean, like for the States, it's all priority. So everyone's gonna be getting it immediately. I learned that on the first campaign, because the first campaign, I think I made it 10 for everyone, and the European stuff kind of scared me a bit, but that little bit of bleed over from the United States, it kind of it took care of what went over on Europe. So it worked out well. Everyone got their books immediately. Because this one too, like all the artwork is done, so I'm just printing and then mailing.
Oh, okay.
So,
I got you.
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
See, two signed copies of the book here. What's it? $30? Really? Is that right? Just
Yep.
$30 for 2 copies?
Yeah, so it's like buy one get one half price. That one I added last week, so it's kind of a newer tier.
Okay, yeah, I see a couple people have claimed that already.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. And signed comic book, signed art book, which is volume 2, and a head sketch. So you're actually doing some commissions.
Yeah, of the main characters from the book. So it'll be a surprise character. Either one of those two females, maybe the villain. Yeah, I think it'd be a fun little so people get some original artwork on this.
Okay. Let me see. Yeah, and the link, of course, is in the description, and I appreciate our mods for dropping the link to your book, City of Venus, Dead City, into the description there and into the chat. Please check it out. Let me see here. Go down. Signed comic, plus art books and a sketch. Okay, so what's? Let me see. Let me see. Signed art books.
The last one is both volumes 1 and 2.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, I just saw.
Okay. It's in case people had missed the volume 1. So and they wanted everything kind of all in one shot. I didn't think there was going to be too many of those, but I wanted to make it at least available because the first one's still in demand as well. So if people want to get that one, just by itself, just to check out my artwork and what I could do.
Oh, what was your art book or what was? I know you said the other book was called what? Through the Woods, right?
Oh yeah. That one didn't go in demand, but the volume 1 of the art book, that one's in demand right now. So
okay.
yeah, I put the link like near the bottom, so anyone could click onto it, or if they just look at my name and the campaigns, they could go like that.
I got you. Okay. Well, let's chop it up. So let's you have interesting background in is that you used to work for the Todd father.
Yes, I did. Right out of high school. Yeah, they have like a search going on in his comic book. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. It really stood out because I've never seen that before. That someone like Todd was looking for new talent for his companies. So my brother Frank had an idea. He's like, instead of just sending a portfolio, he goes, why don't we record it and send them a tape? I'm like, well, yeah, you know what? It would stand out. No one really does that. So, gave it a shot, and sure enough, got contacted. Went up for an interview and kind of pretty much stayed there.
Okay.
Which was awesome.
So okay, so you worked for, what was it, McFarlane? Because he had, I think, didn't he call it like Todd Toys at first or something? I thought it was.
Well, yeah, everything's under Todd McFarlane Productions. So
okay.
TMP. But yeah, this was the design studio that was in New Jersey.
Okay, so that what I was leading to is, did you actually get to meet him, or did you just, maybe a phone call, any of that kind of stuff? Did you actually get to meet Todd McFarlane?
Yeah. I met him a bunch of times. He hated going to New Jersey. I'll tell you that right off the bat. I don't know. I guess because it was kind of up in the sticks as well. Like it wasn't that close to the city, but yeah. So he would go on. I guess back in the early days of like webcam. So we'd have an interesting. I'd say a couple of hours before we got to talk with him and see what was going on, and have like these meetings because no one could ever figure out how to get these damn cameras to work properly. But yeah, Todd would pretty much be sitting on the floor like a little kid playing with his toys and talking about what he liked, what he didn't like.
Well, see, that's the thing I've noticed when he talks about, especially the stuff that he owns. He has that like childhood enthusiasm. Like, hey, okay, so we got the medieval spawner here, yeah, and he's got the monster, and he'll actually be doing that stuff, and I'll be like, like, dude, you're like in your 50s. What are you doing?
Yeah. Oh my God, I used to say it in there in the office. I did an imitation of him every now and then, but
okay, hold up. We might have to have a Todd off, so because I'm famous for my Todd McFarlane impression, So,
oh, you are too?
Yeah, no, because like just with Elliot Fernandez though, but me and him sometimes be like, man, do your Todd, man, because he loves when I do the Todd McFarlane. Because I watch Todd McFarlane on Instagram. He does a lot of IGTV, like little 2-3 minute clips and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, okay, so we're getting ready. It's the countdown. Spawn 300. Spawn 300. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. It's like Greg Capullo, it's Scott Snyder, J. Scott Campbell. We got all the variant colors. Everything's brutal. It's like Spawn 300. But he's like, you gotta get 297, 298, 299, everything. He's like, oh,
you got the hype train down.
And he does that. It's like, I've done that. And Elliot was like, do the McFarlane again. And he just cracks him up, man. He loves that, so I always have to get more material because I know I'm going to get asked to do it again.
Oh my God. I do this straight up imitation of that slight Canadian and a little bit of his speech impediment thing going, because like I got a book called Spawn, and no, it's fantastic. Everyone's got to buy Spawn. Spawn is a new brand, It's I would do that. And one day I'm in the paint department doing that. They're all cracking up, and the door swings open, and they go, "Todd's on right now. We can hear you." It was hilarious. We all just laughed harder.
Oh, well, hold on. We got a super chat from Mr. Wyatt Holiday. Oh, nice. And thank you for $4.99. Says Brand and City of Venus are fire. And I do thank you for that. That is awesome. And
awesome, man.
Yeah, me and Wyatt hung out the other day. It was awesome, and talked about his project. You can definitely find that stream on this channel. It was like hell.
Donna.
Yeah, and we had that, and it was like it's a big monster stream. It was like Elliot Fernandez was on it at the beginning, and then Critius from Detective Dead, he was there, and obviously Wyatt and myself, and it was awesome. Definitely looking forward to talking to him again. Probably like to do like a big group roundup and maybe sell a book or two or five.
I like how you think, man. Todd's rubbing off on you.
Okay, so Zaid Comics in the chat, he says that Brand issue was so fun. I love the attitude of penance. A lot of people, I've got so many messages. First of all, anybody that has not read the Brand preview, it is on my if you're on this YouTube, it's on the community page on this channel. I've got a link there on it. Anybody can download it, check it out. I mean, I'm shocked with the response that I got, but Penance is a little sassy. I cannot wait for, to be able to do more. Oh man, it was like Andrew J and Reddit need more. Trust me. I want you guys to have big, because I was not expecting people to, and I think Kanan, as I was talking to Kanan, I was like, man, they love it. I was like, I'm getting emails and DMs and stuff, and it was just people were really digging it, and I was getting choked up. I was like, I gotta be honest, tears were forming in my eyes. It was just because so many people were like, man, Antonio, this is so good. Thank you. It's like the art is amazing.
That's what I love, man. That's what I love about the community, because everyone really does. They come together like that. And dude, that pride that you get, all the hard work you guys put into it. I know, brother.
Yo, man, I just was like, nobody. I was like, because when I've tried to describe the story, and people, was like, okay, beekeeper guy, I don't get it. And I was like, but when you see Kanan, he starts laying it down, and man, it really seems to make a lot more sense. And Kanan,
people are very visual, And once they see it, then I got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, because I've tried to explain, like I've talked about the masks and all this, because I've talked about the masks and brand, and everybody's like, oh, so he's floating around, and it was that kind of thing. And I try to explain it, and they didn't get it, but then you actually see it with the words, and they go, oh. Well, let's see. Chauncey Blakey says, anybody wanting brand in the mail instead of reading the preview, or just me? I suspect over the 2,200 people that back the project are all wanting their physical copies. And I am doing my darndest to not only to deliver that, but to launch the newer version of it, which will be called Brand Way of the Gun. And hopefully one or two of the people that backed this first project will come back and help us make it happen for book 2. Because I think Kanan and I have a lot more stories to tell. But again, this is, I can't believe the, like I said, the messages I got, the tweets and emails and everything. I was just like, people contacted me on Facebook and stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is incredible.
I'll see you right now. I think you'll get more than 1 or 2 coming back.
I'm definitely going further out on the new campaign. That's why as soon as Kanan finishes, like I said, we've got 8 more pages. He's got some layouts he's supposed to turn out into me within the next week. Once we, finish and get to page 48, he's supposed to start on Way of the Gun. So before which is a luxury I did not have when we launched the first one, because he was under contract with Stranger Comics, and he did not finish that. That's the thing. A lot of people have thought that we were working on the book like in August of last year, and that's not the truth. He didn't get started until like about the first 6 or 7 days into January of this year, because he was under contract, and he finished the Assessa book of just a few days before Christmas. And we thought Kanan was going to be done with the Assessa book right going into October. So I was like, oh, okay, October, he'll be able to draw in November, December, and he didn't get done. They added more pages to the script, and but they had paid him and everything. So I understand that. But it was I just I was like, damn. And he had turned in some layouts to me in like page 1, and that's all I had, and I just kind of had to hustle. I just had to, I was like, and then got the pages colored and did all that kind of stuff. So it started, but in January is when we really, because all of a sudden January, he was like, all right, let's get in it. And he started turning in all those layouts and everything. And we really started going. So man.
Of course it was gonna take time, and like you can't mess with contracts. So you gotta wait. And then, dude, it's not like he was the Ferrari and those doors just swung open and he took off.
Yeah, once he started, Yeah, once he started and you know, we started doing, because especially anybody that was following his channel at the beginning of the year, they know Kanan and I used to stream quite a bit, and he designed characters on the air and did all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just we just didn't have the luxury to do that when he was still drawing Assessa, because I was like, can you stream? And he was like, I could, but he said, I'm drawing the Assessa book. I'm not drawing Brand. It would look kind of weird. And I was like, yeah, because everybody will think you're drawing our comic, and you'd be drawing. But I mean, the Assessa book looked fantastic. That would be, you know, like I said, I'm just more, and Kanan was thrilled with how the page. He's like, this is legit, man. I was like, I told him we actually got the colors and the fonts on the pages. Yeah. It really brought a new life to everything, because I'm just beyond thrilled. It was very
I know exactly how you feel, man. Once you start seeing it come all together, it's something special. It truly is.
Let me see. You know? Let me see. Super chat from Andrew J. He says, I hope you and Kanan stay a creative team forever, or Kanan's son. Well, that's the thing. I can at least say, since Kanan and I own Brand together, that we will at least, unless we just get sick of each other, because I be getting on to Kanan all the time because he get on my nerves. But I did tell him, I said, hey, train the youngin' up so that he can take over, you know, and because I know he's doing other projects. I know he's going to work with Ethan Van Sciver on Fearsome. And oh man, Chauncey Blake in the chat, Brand Way of the Sun. And well, Desmond White is was he 13 and quite a promising young artist.
I've seen, yeah. I was on one or two of the auction nights, and he was on there showing some of his stuff. Unbelievable.
He's been showing me Desmond's stuff for a little while now, and I was like, hey, he might be taking over for Daddy one day.
Oh yeah,
and that was his daughters all draw too, which is crazy. Like his oldest daughter has like a crazy like anime manga style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they're huge into that. Like if I came up with what was that, Battle Chasers or something like that, if I could come up with a probably like that, and you know, she get a little bit seasoning, it would be interesting to see her on there. So
you're gonna put the whole family to work, man.
Yeah, man. That's it. Yeah, I was like, I have the entire White family drawing various properties for Akari Press, so that would be awesome, because I don't know. Kanan has a book that he wants me to write that's more of like it's more like elves and magic and type stuff. So he was kind of telling me about it when we spoke the other day, and I was like, oh, so you got it? He said, yeah, but I need a writer. So I was like, all right, brother. I had so many people ask me to write things and work with them. You know, I'm supposed to been doing a book called Comic Book Tomo with Elliot Fernandez, and then
cool.
Yeah, so I don't, like I said, I don't know. But he's doing other projects, and obviously he's like married to Doom Kicker now. So like, I did, because when it started, it was like a 48-page book, and now it's like 96 or something. So I was like, wow. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy. But I know he's gonna be drawing that into going into the new year. So I was like, oh boy, because I thought we were gonna launch a Tomo like in a couple months or something. And it was just
it gets tricky to juggle all these projects, man. Let me tell you, geez. I've been jumping back and forth.
Working man in art business, because I see you got 2 art books, a couple of comics, all this.
Yeah, already. I mean, and the first project, Through the Woods, that was 3 issues. So right out of the gate, I got 3 issues to people like right away and fast.
Oh wow! Okay, so yeah, because I've been following you on Instagram for over a year now, and yeah, I've seen this project. I started seeing it before I started seeing you pop up in like Ethan's chat and everything. I started to see, so I was like, oh man, I follow him on Instagram, and if I see any decent artists, I try to at least see if they have an Instagram so I can like snipe your art and post it on my page. So, I'm just saying I'm just being honest. That's how I built my Instagram up, because like I said, nobody wants to see a screenshot of my laptop with a screen on it. You know, they want to see Spider-Man and Wolverine and the X-Men and all that kind of stuff. So when you go to the Akari Press Instagram, that's what you're going to see. So I've been posting a lot of the the zombie stuff seems to be hot right now because a lot of people are posting their variants for what's that, DC Comics Deceased.
Oh yeah.
And man, I posted the other day, it was a sick Gabriel Del Otto. He drew like Wonder Woman. It was like, oh my God.
That guy, he's pretty amazing. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people went nuts for when I post something and it's hot, I always tell the reaction is always different. I was just like, oh, I was like, okay, they digging this.
Well, be sure to repost some of my stuff.
Well, that's the thing. Depends. One thing I will say is I'll try to look and see what's hot right now. So, like, if they got a Star Wars movie coming out, I know when I'm because I use a hashtag system, so I'll know that everybody's posting like Star Wars stuff right now.
Right.
So, or like if they got a Transformers movie coming out, then I'll go and look for like Transformers stuff to post. I try to post what I see trending on Instagram because you get way more clicks on your profile and stuff.
Yeah, I tried doing that a lot too. And I do it. I bombard the whole hashtag thing too, and I haven't gotten that lucky. Just a couple of times, you know. There's been a couple of pieces that hit some really big numbers, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird how those algorithms work.
Yeah, trust me, and I can tell you just my personal experiences on it because you know a couple years ago I only had like 15 people on Instagram, and now we've got 11,600 and some change. So, oh man, that's
you cracked the code.
Yeah, well, it took a while, but I figured it out, and I was like, yeah, this is what I do now. You know, it's like I work the Instagram, work my Twitter, try to do things for this YouTube channel and everything. So, it's amazing, and I love comics though. I love comics. I love comics. So tell me about you. Tell me about Through the Woods because I didn't know that was a 3-part thing. So tell me about Through the Woods.
Yeah, that one was just a 3-issue miniseries. When we did it originally, it was going to be like an ongoing, but then we found out about that show Supernatural, and there were elements of it that they had like almost all over all their episodes. I'm like, see, like we don't want to come out looking like we ripped off whatever, even though ours was created way before it. But you know, just how time kind of works. You know, when you finally get a chance to work out and flesh out a story, and it's like, oh shit, someone else has already done something similar. It's like, But so this one we decided, all right, let's just do a 3-issue miniseries, and see how the story goes and how the characters are received. So like it was originally going to be a horror book, but we turned it into a ghost story in the end. We decided it would probably hit more of like that kind of like 13 and up, because if it was more horror centric, it would have been a little bit harder of a sell, you know. So we try to make it a little bit more for everyone, and so essentially it's about this woman, Laura Langley, who she inherits this property in upstate New York, and she finds out there's rumors and stories about the land that she owns now. There's a rundown cabin behind this house that she has. So there's a bunch of kind of like little spooky moments that we have throughout that first issue. But then she does the research and she finds out that it used to be a loggers camp, and there was some evil stuff that happened on that camp. So like the story kind of evolves from there. But so in the first issue, we go back and forth a lot. There's a lot of flashbacks. So I did it in a kind of interesting way. I've never really seen it done too much, where I kind of go into sepia with the color scheme. So like she's pushing open a door, like the next panel goes into sepia, and we see like the bar area that these guys are hanging out after a long day, chopping wood and all that. And we kind of we did the flashbacks like that because I thought it'd be a little bit more eye-catching too. But towards the end of the book, you see how things kind of manifest, and we have like the past meets the present by the end of the book. So you'll see like the big guy, the big lumberjack at the end. He meets Laura face to face, and she's just like shitting a brick. So, yeah. So the second issue is like more of like the backstory. So we go into like the villain a little bit, and because in the first issue we gave glimpses, and this guy is responsible for a lot of bad shit that happened. The villain of the book, not the main dude who's my logo here, but that was Slatcher. This is Jack Lombardo, the guy you could see here. But yeah, so it's like essentially there was a family that Laura's related to. They owned it, so it was just a husband, wife, and a daughter. And the daughter kind of she runs in the first couple of pages. She runs into a bear in the woods, and she takes off like a rocket, and this thing's chasing her. So and she runs into this big man here, Jack Lombardo, and his wolf dog hybrid, Hatchet. And they kind of save the day. Like the pet protects her as Jack actually fights this bear. So in the first issue, like we have a fucking fight with a bear. It's insane. I had the main character drop kick him in the face.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens on there. Maybe I should pull it up for you if you want to take a look.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Okay, so you did 3. Is that the complete story, or is there more of Through the Woods coming?
From where it ends, it looks like it could just be done like that. But talking to a couple more fans and people who they've been hungry for more. Because like the first issue, I had it done for a little while, and I was bringing it to conventions. Like I did a very small print run, and people were really loving it. So that's like every time, like between freelance work and stuff, I get some more pages done. So eventually, like issue 2 and 3 were finished. But the way that 3 ends, it could be very, very definitive. But we decided we had a pretty cool idea on how to bring back the characters. So I might actually do another campaign for Through the Woods next year, in 2020. And I might just do like a collected version of this instead of the 3 singles. Just do like one big book, and then maybe get started on the second part of the story, because the second part of the story is going to be very different. My brother came up with some really amazing ways on how to bring back certain characters, and it's going to be another fun tale, that's for sure. But yeah, so ghost story and with a lot of action.
Okay, I got you. Okay, let me ask. Let me see. Chauncey Blakey asks, can you ask Vinnie to elaborate on the mutants in City of Venus? Thanks.
Well, yeah, all right. So the people in power, they can't really figure out how to prolong life much. Like they could do it for a certain amount of time, but they want to be, like indefinite. They want to be there forever, and it's not really working. And they're using this unique power supply that's actually keeping the city afloat. But it's not working out for them. So again, these people are. I'm going to have all different types of them. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away, but there's like the first ones that you see look more zombified. Then I'm going to have some that actually have like maybe some like mechanical parts to them. They're going to be like in different places of the city, like different patches of them, which I think is going to be pretty unique. So like the scavengers, they know how dangerous it is to go to the surface. So every now and then there's like, how can I say it without ruining anything? Because there's going to be a lot of surprises that I don't want to give away either. But let's just say that certain areas are going to have like little kind of gift items that those people could kind of use. Now, we don't know if that's bait from the people that are in the floating city or if someone else is actually helping.
It kind of sounds like a video game the way you're describing it.
It would be cool as a video game, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it sounds like it's like, okay, if you get to the red zone, you can get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way you describe it anyway. I mean, like, and obviously the art is, yeah, man. That's
thanks, man. Yeah, well, because here's the thing too. Like, if there is any kind of signs of life that's going on down there, if there's power that's being used, an explosion or something, they're notified in that floating city. That's why there's like no technology down there. You know, it's like it's bare bones. So yeah, so the scavengers, they're trying to keep a very low profile. So like in the first couple of pages that I showed there, like the main character, she runs into one of them, and she thinks she's helping, but she causes a big problem because she picks up this gun on the floor that the other one dropped when she got attacked, and you know she hit like this gas canister or whatever behind the zombie, and it blew up, made a big explosion, and immediately that city got notified, and they sent out a unit. So that's where you see that girl who's in with the tight black outfit with her kind of military guys.
Right, right.
Yeah, so
yeah, looking like snack. Yeah, she was looking real good, mighty tasty. But
very tasty.
let me ask you. Okay, so you said you and your brother worked on Through the Woods together, right? And then
Right.
on this particular project, you're doing everything by yourself.
Yeah, because this is a story that I've had for a while in my head, and like I've working for Todd, and I went freelance. I did some stuff like storyboards for like different movie houses here and there. So I think I got a pretty good sense of how to tell a pretty good story. And like I said too, even with Through the Woods, I did the first draft on issue 1, and it's almost exactly kind of how I had it, except for like the ending, and we removed one character. But yeah, so I'm pretty confident in how I could tell a story, you know.
Okay, so I've been talking to artist Vinnie. Let's talk to writer Vinnie, and explain, because I'm always curious. I've talked to a few other artists that actually can write as well. So what's your writing process? Because you obviously know the story you're trying to tell, and I know when I've talked to Ethan Van Sciver, and he knows the Cyberfrog story, so he doesn't even it sounded like when he set everything up, he just started kind of he kind of figured out where he needed to do certain things, and
Right.
he got the paper boards out and started drawing.
Mm-hmm.
And he just thought, okay, I need this to happen, blah, 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 so he kind of figured out where he needed to, kind of
the beats,
set everything up, and then and he was like, okay, right here, I need to show Heather with Cyberfrog. I need to show the Vespas coming in here. He just knew exactly where it was, and then he just, so he didn't really do anything with a script, and then he just kind of, since he knew the story, once he got everything set up, he just, he can write that way. So.
Right. Yeah, I did a little bit of a mix. Like I had I know there's key parts in the story that I needed as well. So like I would write down like the overall like chunks of what was gonna happen that I know was gonna happen. Then I would do like more of like the backstory on certain characters. But at the same time, like Ethan, like you have these certain story beats that you need to tell, but you need to show as well. So since it is a visual format anyway, and medium, you have to make sure that there are going to be key moments. So like I knew like with the main characters how I wanted to introduce them. That one kind of stumbles upon the other, but I also know like I wanted a couple of like those key moments of like showing the city, the destruction. Like a city that was built on top of the city, but then there's a huge war that really took out everything. So like I have like futuristic type cars that are like smashed into the side of a building. Broken bridges, but then like because of the noise and shit that happened, like it also got the attention not only of the people in the floating city, but like these other kind of those failed experiments. So those people are, you don't know what their purpose is yet. They don't know what's going on. Are they lost? Are they hungry? Oh, like I want the encounters to be very strange, or for like those main characters as well. They don't know what's going on. They know that they got to stay clear of them, because they don't know if they have diseases. They could be infected as well by something, a multitude of different things. If you see someone like that one who was trying to attack her, are you going to be like, hey, how you doing, buddy? No, you're going to be like running. You want to stay away. But yeah, and then like I have like, again, there's like certain ones, like I said, they're going to have other aspects to them that are very, very dangerous to regular humans. So like, again, I got to keep that kind of stuff in different areas of the book. Like they'll be popping up when they have to, but yeah, going like through the story beats again. Yeah, like I had to make sure that I show like the military type people in here, a clear shot of the floating city itself, kind of the contrast between how they're living up there and the world below. But like through the course of the story, you're going to see it might not all be, you know, as clear as you think it is. Again, I don't want to give away stuff, but rest assured, yeah, there is a story here. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to happen. The main character, her backstory, I think is very, very interesting and unique. Again, I'm going to show how the floating city got there, how and why it happened. Because I know it's the one thing in most of these type of sci-fi stories, they never really show that. It just happens to be there, and everyone's just like, okay, it's part of the look of the world. This, I'm going to show how it got there and why it got there.
Okay,
which I think is pretty interesting.
I mean, it sounds like I can. That's the thing I love when I talk to all the various creators that I've had on this channel. You know, it's like you can tell, like when you know, wondering how the idea came about and how did you know, start creating, and you can sense the passion. There's always, I don't know what drew you into, because I mean, you weren't a comics guy originally, right? Or no?
Well, I was. I loved comics as a kid. McFarlane was like one of my heroes. You know, all the Spider-Man stuff that he had done. Yeah, and over the years, I started getting influenced by like people like Enrico Marini. He's a European artist he's been doing a lot of stuff, and recently he did a Batman story. But yeah, he's like one of the world's top artists. But yeah, I mean, I've always had my fingers in there. I love Frank Frazetta growing up. I got like all those original art books when they came out. Dude, yeah, he's what really got me into wanting to do this, because what he could do with a single piece of artwork, telling a story like that. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, dude, to do comic books and be able to do the same thing, like panel to panel, I was all over it. So it's kind of funny and ironic. I had an opportunity to go to Top Cow or Todd McFarlane, and at Top Cow it was just interning, but most of the interns they turned into stars. But I had like no connections over there in California. I mean, I've never been there at that time. Didn't know anything like out of high school. But the McFarlane thing, we had family in New York, so I hopped on trains and buses to get out there. So we kind of, you know, chose McFarlane. But no, I've always wanted to do comics. And in fact, I almost got to work on not Amazing Spider-Man. What was the other title? The smaller press one. Marvel Knights, the Marvel Knights Spider-Man. I got in contact with one of the big editors there, Ralph Macchio. He loved my stuff. He said, "Vinny, stop sending in samples." I was like, "Oh shit, what, am I annoying him?" And he's like, I want to try you on Spider-Man." I'm like, "Are you kidding?" "No." He goes, "There's a new book we're going to be doing. I want you on it." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, I was over the moon. I was living in New York at the time." I'm like, "Dude, this is everything right now." 2 weeks before I signed the contract, he called me up and he goes, he was upset and he was sorry as hell. He kept saying, "Dude, I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm telling you straight up. Joe Quesada's putting his friend on the book. He doesn't want you on."
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Dude, that destroyed me for the longest time. The depression I had. Oh, fuck. But at that same time, I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna just do my own fucking comic books. And I started teaching myself how to computer color. That took a long process because I didn't know shit about it. But, you know, over time, I started to develop it, and, you know, then I started getting other freelance jobs, and yeah, I was doing stuff everywhere because I had done covers for Image, Hack and Slash, Devil's Due.
Oh, Kanan did a cover for what's that? Tim Seeley. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Kanan did a cover. You can find it. I saw it online where Kanan did a cover for Hack and Slash.
Yeah, Tim's a good dude. Yeah, I met him at a show I was doing. and we hit it off. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, I love your work. So, yeah, I want to try on something." So I got to do. I did one of the crossovers with the Reanimator. It was a 3-issue miniseries.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, Joe Jusko, he did a cover. I did one. I forgot who the other guy was. But yeah, dude, to be in that group, I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it."
I like that.
And then when he had relaunched when he did Image, and they actually had my artwork blown up like 15, 20 feet high, and they were putting it around the convention circuit. And like I didn't know. I went to New York Comic Con and I was going to my table. I'm like, "Oh shit!" I did like a triple take. I'm like, "That's my work. That's my piece. How come nobody told me?" I ran over. I'm like, "Can I get a photo?" The girl was like, "Sure." I'm like, "Can I move this box too? It's covering my name." She went, "Oh, you're the artist?" I went, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, of course."
Oh man, that's crazy. I love it. I love hearing stuff like that though. But it's just I remember I'd had a conversation with Kanan, about when he first started seeing his work published, and just the excitement that that he had when that happened. And I just love hearing stuff like that, because I'm telling you, when I got these pages back and I was, and I finally saw, it's like you get the black and white art, and then you get it colored, and you go, oh, and then you finally get the lettering put on it.
Oh yeah,
and it's breathtaking.
Yeah, I'm telling you too. From a guy who does it all, when I get to finishing a page with color, I feel it's so satisfying. And then like usually I'll wait till the whole book's done, and then I'll start to do the lettering. Once in a while, I'll start doing the lettering, as I'm going to. But
so, you're the letterer on these books too, or are you did like everybody else and just hired Eric Weathers?
No, I didn't know about Eric, but yeah, no, I done all these.
Oh wow, okay. So it's like, come on, Vinny, you got to share the money. You got to share that bag with everybody else, man. Like you Jamaican, man. You got 15 jobs, man. Him got 15 jobs, man.
One of my Jamaican friends said that to me.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Him got 15 jobs. And that's why I'm looking, man. I'm like, damn, you colored it, you did the art, you wrote it, you did the letters on it. Next thing you know, you're going to set up a printing press in your damn house. And you be out here printing every damn thing and making the boxes to ship everything out in. I was like, ain't nobody getting this money except in it. And I was like, but man, I love that. I mean, you had some of the lettered pages on the Indiegogo page, and I mean, really clean. Some people try to letter their own stuff, and it looks real janky, man, because they don't understand the high res and all, and setting the font and everything. Yeah. I know from everything that I've learned just from talking to my letterer, who's been in the business like 30 years, and he's just telling me all the different things he's been. I mean, he's done like Thor and all these different books, and that's one of the things. Everybody's like, man, the letters on these. Some people thought I had hired Eric, and Eric, my original letterer, left the book because, he was like, hey, I'm kind of nervous about this Comicsgate stuff, but I think you got a good project, all this kind of thing. And he felt he didn't want to have his name attached to it and everything. And he called me, and I understood. And I had mentioned it on Ethan Van Sciver's stream, and I got a DM from Eric Weathers, and he was like, if you can't find another letterer, let me know. And he said, I've got a couple other projects, but he said, I'd love to help you out. And I was like, I appreciate it. And I've never forgot that. I really appreciated the fact that he reached out to me. That means a lot. So
that is amazing. He is a great guy, because I was on a couple of streams with him, and then I've chatted with him once or twice, in private too. But he's a stand-up guy. I really respect the hell out of him, and his project looks amazing. So
Iron Fortress, man. So
man. Yeah, I got a friend too. He's like, yeah, I'm getting that book. As soon as I told him about it, he's like, yeah, I'm getting that.
I really appreciated it. And then, obviously we found the right person to do the lettering for Brand, and I was beyond thrilled how it turned out, and can't wait to see the final print file and get this thing off to the printers.
Oh, hell yeah.
And get all these books, because we got all the variant covers and all that, and just get everything shipped out to everybody, because, man, I cannot wait.
Oh, I know, dude. But to go back on that moment with the lettering, my brother and I, we had done like a practice run. We did our own story of Spider-Man and the Hulk. I have it up on my DeviantArt. I did like a full 22 pages, and when it came down to doing the lettering, my father was in the hospital. This is years ago. He was in the hospital, and I didn't get a chance to really do anything. So I just slapped it all together. When I looked at it afterwards, I felt so embarrassed by it. So I made sure. I said, when we're doing our book, I am not going to rush through anything. I'm going to make sure everything is perfect. And that's what I did. So you could see a huge fuck up. If you want to see really bad lettering, it's on a pretty fun story that we had told of Spider-Man and the Hulk. That's on my DeviantArt. I did it free for everyone because I said fuck.
Oh, okay. So you just created something, I guess, some sample pages or whatever.
No, we did like a full comic book where we put it online using Spider-Man and the Hulk.
How many pages was this?
Like the full 22.
Oh shit! All right, so I need to check that out. Okay,
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is Elliot had. I remember on the auction, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, he had some pages. What was like Fantastic Four versus the Hulk or something like that. That his buddy had wrote like a 3 or 4 page script, and I know Elliot was selling those pages where he was just trying to get show some samples of his interior work and everything. And I love talking. I don't know if you've talked to Elliot much, but you've been on Drawn and Quartered, right, or no?
I was on the auctions with them, and we've chatted here and there. I was supposed to go on his stream, but he was suspended. Then when he came out of it, when he came out of it, I guess we just never scheduled it. So I don't know if he still wants me on, but if he does, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean, holler at him, because that's actually he tried to call me earlier. I had to hit him back. I had he was showing me some of the things he did. Hell, he showed me some of his old stuff that actually did get published at DC. I think he had done some Power Girl issues, fill-in issues, something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I always like Power Girl. She's always healthy up there, and So she has her super boobs are legendary.
They are.
Well, I always wonder about that, because it's like she's supposed to just be Supergirl.
Yeah.
Another, she's Supergirl from a different Earth, or was it Earth 2 or whichever in the multiverse.
Right. Oh, you never knew the story of why they gave her such a big chest?
Because I'm sitting. Well, it's like, if you're the same person, shouldn't the regular Supergirl have healthy chest too? But I don't know.
I know the story. It was the artist who was working on it. He goes, well, what are we going to do about her symbol for her chest? And they're like, for now, just leave it open. He's like, what? So he put the circle there, and over time he kept asking the editor, so are we going to be putting a logo on this character or what? And they didn't want to put the Superman logo. They kept saying. So he goes, every issue, he goes, fine, I'm just going to keep making them bigger and bigger until we get a logo. So they got to a point where they were tremendous, and the editor's like, what the hell are you doing? So he's like, well, you said we don't have one yet, so I'm having fun with it. And stop it. Don't make them any bigger. So they stop where they stop.
Oh my God, because that's I've noticed, like I said, it's supposed to be the same person. Yeah. And there's a noticeable bust size in those two characters. It's like I love when artists like Frank Cho or Adam Hughes draw Power Girl, because they're not afraid to get it in there. So I always love that.
Adam's great with the ladies, man.
Oh yeah, I mean he came from the Playboy pinup section though, so I was like, that's where
he did a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, he's doing those the old days of Playboy. Although I hear it's back now. Because I mean, you know,
Oh,
there was a period there where they were like, "We're not going to do any more centerfolds, and we're not doing, you know,
yeah.
what the hell
And then
is Playboy?"
exactly, and then sales tank. Oh, guess what? Naked women are back.
Yeah, that's why I was like, "Do you honestly think people are I mean, and they have serious interviews in Playboy." I was like, I was watching. What was it, a while back? I was watching a White House one of those press conferences, and they actually had reports like Johnny Carter, Playboy, and I was like, "They got a Playboy reporter in the really?" I was like, "What's a Playboy reporter doing in the White House press pool?"
Right.
It surprised me. So I mean, they probably had them in they probably have an international press pool too. It's like, you know, it's like Playboy UK or something. I mean, which I know they publish internationally, obviously. So GK1 in the chat says, "I read it for the articles." Yeah, yeah, me too. And hashtag me too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my goodness, this let me see. Felix Haas, I just read it for the articles. No, you read it for the part. Well, yeah, that's I mean, that's what I mean, but they would have interesting interviews there. I mean, you see like a Michael Jordan, Morgan Freeman, you know, people like, you know, you see like a James Earl Jones get the Playboy interview, and you knew it was a big deal. You know, like, oh, we're talking to James Woods this month, you know, and it would be a serious interview, you know.
Yeah, because a lot of people forget that. I mean, since the internet wasn't as huge as it was back then, you know, it's only more, you know, with the last 15 years where people really have been going crazy about the computer and all that. But yeah, most of the information, people were still buying newspapers and magazines. And yeah, Playboy, they had the market on some of like the best interviews, or you know, the hottest interviews at the moment.
Yeah,
You know?
they put books. There was I saw on Amazon. It was like the Playboy interviews where because I mean they talked to a lot of people. They talked to Malcolm X. They talked to Alex Haley.
Yeah.
You know, Alex Haley actually I think he was doing a lot of freelance writing for Malcolm for Playboy when he actually met Malcolm X for the first time, and then they sat down and started doing the little interview sessions that became the autobiography of Malcolm X.
Right.
So there were serious interviews, and like I said, they've got books where they have reprinted a lot of those big, you know, like someone like a George Lucas to sit down with them, and I was like, and they're serious, great interviews.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that is there was some really. I used to love the editor's letter that, like, especially some of the older ones when Hugh Hefner used to write them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously he stepped down and he was just the editor in chief, or, you know, like whatever they call Bill Gates at Microsoft now, emeritus or whatever. Yeah. It's like, oh, he's just Hef. Okay.
Yeah,
And
just to have the title, but their hands aren't really in it anymore.
yeah. It's like, yeah, I know, like I said, he turned it over to his older daughter, and you know, she just started making all these weird decisions. I was like, okay, I got you. Because I just I don't know the you know, like say Playboy sitting down and talking to Sinatra, and they would have these great art pieces. You know, they would have one of their artists draw the person that was being interviewed. Like you'd have like an interview with Muhammad Ali, and they would have one of their artists draw.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Man,
Yeah, there was some beautiful stuff in there from what I remembered. Oh my God.
yeah,
But then even
the cartoonists and stuff. Playboy had they had some real talent there. That's what I'm saying. Adam Hughes came from Playboy, and I was like, man, just talented guy.
dude, yeah, it's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
So some of the jobs and things, but yeah, no, it's it's interesting of where everything kind of went, and now people want some of that stuff back. I think that's why there's a resurgence in a lot of things.
Oh, you better believe it. But let me. Okay, so as we wrap up and wind everything down, one more. Give me one more good quick pitch. Tell us why we should back City of Venus, Dead City. Why should they back that? If you,
Dude, guys, it's a crazy action adventure story. Basically, there's a lot of science in here too. I'm gonna be putting. You got hot chicks, you got monsters, floating city. I'm gonna have mech kind of robots in here as well. I mean, just a ton of cool shit's gonna happen. but yeah, dude, this is going to be a pretty fun tale. The first issue is the only one that's going to be like 28 pages. Everything else is going to be oversized in page count. So you're going to get a lot more out of this story, these characters. You're going to want to see where they go and what happens, especially with the cliffhanger in this book regarding the main character. She has a great connection with that city. I'm going to end up revealing, during the course of this story. I'm telling you, man, there's going to be a lot of surprises. It's just, I know fans are going to go apeshit when they see some stuff, like super happy, but I can't give the spoilers away yet. So that's why it's the hardest part of all this to me is the pitch on these books.
Absolutely.
But today, the Red Gaze had done a video for me. So when you guys do go on here, click on it. It gives a great sum up of everything. Yeah, no, he did an excellent job. I want to thank him again. Red Gaze and all my friends out there, Mandy Summers, Wyatt, Simon. I'm telling you, this is a great crew of people. Amazing projects. Not just mine. I hope everyone backs all of these new guys. We have a lot of cool stuff happening. Yes, exactly.
And okay. And Vinny, if someone like myself, a fan, they wanted to reach out to you, how would they go about doing that? How do they reach out to you on social media?
Anyone can reach out to me on I'm on Twitter at Vinnie Art, VINNIEART. Same thing with Facebook, but I also have Mella Art World on Facebook as well. You can just type that out. I'm on DeviantArt. I'm on Instagram. My DeviantArt is Vinrock, VINROC. So you can find me there as well. I do have a YouTube as well. I have some videos up. I need to start updating it more. I just haven't had a chance between doing freelance work and working on like 3 different projects. Yeah, it's been a lot.
Busy, I guess.
Yes, and I'm already thinking about launching another campaign after this one, which is actually going to be a children's book that's totally completed as well. It's all in rhyme. That one I work with my brother Frankie on. He wrote out the whole story on that one because we figured there's a lot of kids that are in these families and stuff too. I want to show that I kind of hit everything. So that one has more of a Disney feel to it. I guess I could start posting up some images of that here and there. I'm just kind of waiting a little bit until City of Venus is at least done. I mean, the campaign, the book is done. Yeah, so there's plenty to look forward to. I have a pirate book that's going to I'm working on right now. That one's really fun. I'm having a ball working on that one, but it's taking time to get through those pages. Because again, I'm pouring in just tons of detail. That one, I have a mix of, so some pages are like almost all digitally painted, and now some of them are completely drawn out, super fine details, pencil pages, and then I scan into the computer and paint them up. So yeah, I'm kind of hitting everything. It's whatever I feel like doing on that book, I'm just doing it.
Oh man, that was but that's the beauty of just, I can't wait not only to, like I said, to finish this one up, but to work on, all the newer projects, the Way of the Gun, and then, follow that up with another book called The Union. And, that's the plan. So, it's like we have, things that I'm planning on doing with Kanan and get that knocked out, and
that's awesome.
Keep making these YouTube streams and doing all that. So
hell yeah. Oh, before I forget too, the stretch goals on this. So my next stretch goal, we're getting close to it. So at 5K, I'm throwing in an extra piece for all my backers. So as long as you back this book, you're going to get a postcard. I'm working on that image at the moment of the main character. So you get an extra piece of artwork thrown into your bundle, whatever one you got. If it's just a single book or if it's, everything, you'll get an extra piece of artwork when we hit 5K. At 7,000, I'm going to throw in an extra 4 pages of behind the scenes stuff. So you'll see some of my sketches and layouts.
Okay. All right. Hey, that sounds pretty cool, man. Because I'm like I said, I'm checking your thing out, and looks. I really like the art on it, man, and you know, all the stuff that you posted on Instagram. I've really dug. You know, it's like
Thanks,
a lot
man.
of talent there.
I appreciate it.
And I am very happy that you have gotten funded, sir. This is. But before I let you go, tell me where I can get the best pie in the city. Please tell me. I need to know.
In New York?
Yeah, man. Where can I get it?
If it's pizza pie, I'm gonna say Rose's Pizza. They make the best. Jesus Christ. The regular pies, I'd say maybe like a Russo's Bakery. There's a couple of those.
Definitely
Those
talking about yeah. But my New York buddy, he was like, "Yeah, we call it pie," and I was like, "I don't know," but either way, I love pizza, so yeah. So I need to get me some slices when I'm next time I'm in the city, as they call it.
Nice.
But that will be the end of this one, guys. Big thanks to my new buddy Vinnie Tartamella for joining us here today. Please get out there, look at City of Venus, Dead City, check it out. If you like what you see, throw him a few shekels and you know, help him you know, get even further. Yeah, he's fully funded, but hey, you know, let's get him a little bit more money. Let's help him raise that cash up.
Yes, please.
Yeah, see, yeah, Vinny agrees with that. All
Yeah.
right.
There's a lot to that money is going to help in a lot of different ways. Like I said, we need more books, more free stuff for people. So yeah, keep helping, please.
All right. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. And if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel, everywhere is at Akari Press. And if you type in akaripress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kanan White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please back City of Venus Dead City. I'm out.